Hello everyone, so welcome you back to Ashok Tutorials Meghalaya's first Mtet channel. Well, this will be the first video for the session 2024, which means those candidates or those Mtet aspirants who want to prepare for Mtet examination for the year 2024, this syllabus explanation is for you. Alright, so as we all know that last year, that is 2023, we have received the syllabus, updated syllabus, right? So the syllabus has changed, and I believe that it is not going to change yearly. So this, whatever the syllabus the DERT has given for 2023 will continue for 2024 as well. So without any doubt, we can start our preparation for the year 2024 with following the syllabus of 2023. All right, so before we do anything, what I believe is that you have to understand the contents. Don't directly go and buy books for child development and pedagogy, environmental studies, mathematics, science, social science, language, English. Don't bother to buy books for that. All right, no need to buy the books. So what you have to do is that you have to understand the concept, you have to understand the topics, you have to understand the syllabus. So how do you understand the syllabus? You understand the syllabus by watching videos by Ashok Tutorials, right? So what happens is that, see, unnecessarily you are wasting your money, you're wasting your time and wasting your energy when you buy textbooks and study, because textbook has got a lot and lots of information which is not required for our exams. So in order to avoid reading and studying irrelevant stuffs, you can focus only on the content of the syllabus. Now, how would you know what is there in the syllabus? And you might be wondering, like, oh, who reads the syllabus, who studies the syllabus? We just know that there are five subjects for paper 1 which we have to read. So accordingly you go following here and there the different type of books available in the market. But what I will like to suggest you is that don't go here and there, don't follow all this, because the things we have to study for the exams are very limited. When you follow your syllabus, you do not waste your time. And you might be like, oh, all right, it's fine that we will read the videos, I mean we will watch the videos and we will study, right? We'll take the screenshots and we will write down the notes. Yes, of course you do that. I always urge my students to take the screenshot and write down the notes, whatever I am sharing on slides, whatever I am sharing on my screen. So write it down, pause the video and write down. But then this is not enough. So what do you do now? You don't have to worry at all. What you do now is that we are very happy to announce that Ashok Tutorials has already made the notes as well, notes, which means according to the syllabus of 2023, all the notes are available with us. So if you want to buy the notes, to purchase the notes, if you want to purchase the notes and study, you are welcome to contact us through Telegram group, through email, or through comment in the YouTube channel. So however, whatever means you find yourself to be comfortable with, please try to reach us. All right, and we will definitely try to help you out. All right, and whatever the notes we are giving is strictly according to the notes are strictly according to the Mtet syllabus, right? Which means you will not waste your time when you are connected with us, when you are studying the notes given by us. All right, when you are watching the videos given by us. But it does not mean that definitely you are going to pass. Of course, passing the examination depends totally on you, what you are reading, how you are reading, how much time you're devoting, whether you are a slow learner or whether you are a fast learner, or whether you are giving enough time, enough energy, enough concentration, enough focus needed for the studies, because we never know. Some of us are very weak at studies, some of us are very good at studies. So if student who is good at studies might need only 1 month of preparation. However, those weak ones might need 3 months or 4 months, like that, right? So according to your own understanding, according to your own convenience, according to your own needs, you try to prepare your, you know, prepare for your examination. All right. So we do not guarantee that by just studying Ashok tutorials notes or by just watching Ashok tutorials videos you will pass your examination. Nobody can ever give you the guarantee until and unless you yourself struggle, you yourself strive, you yourself desire, you yourself prepare for your exams, right? But then of course, genuinely I would like to say, you can, confidently refer to our notes, you can buy our notes, you can watch our videos. And yes, one more thing is that, there will come time when we do not have enough time for you to make videos. So what you can do is that we also give on demand video. On demand video means what? Suppose example, here in the screen you can see understanding development. So suppose I am not able to finish this understanding development unit and you want me to make video on this. So personally you can request the video for this particular unit, but of course as we will be putting extra efforts, so this will not be free of cost. You have to pay a certain amount for that. All right, so that option is also available for you. So let's see how to do, what to do, how can we help you. We'll try our best to help you out. All right, so I hope we have talked a lot. So now I think we should start with the syllabus, right? So my dear friends, you have to understand what is there in the syllabus. So this is what I feel which is very important. All right, now see, I passed my Mtet examination in the first attempt. In the first attempt itself I passed my examination. What you have to do is that you don't have to work hard, you have to work smart. Why? Because even the donkey, they work hard, right? But they are not smart. They don't work smart, they work hard. But then we are human beings, right? We have got the reasoning powers, we have got the, intelligence. So we have to make use of those intelligence. We have to work smart. What to skip, what to focus, what to study, what to give more time, what to practice, what not to practice. So these things we should know, right? And you are going to know all these things, whether what to do, what not to do, only when you are guided by certain experts, right? So my channel, we are trying our best to bring to you whatever possible help we can, free of cost. Whatever, wherever it is possible to guide you, to help you free of cost, we will do it. But of course certain things like giving away the notes and all, it is not possible for us to give you freely. All right, we, of course, we are team, we are spending a lot of energy, a lot of time, we are doing a lot of research. So that's why we need to thank them back. And how do we thank them? By giving them certain amount, right? So this is why we are bound to collect certain amount from you. So I hope you don't mind that, right? Well, now what we will do is that let's just go directly to the screen. And first of all, see, we have got how many? Let's talk about Mtet now directly. So we have got two papers, right? Paper 1 and paper 2. So you already know that paper 1 is for LP teachers, lower primary section, right? So those aspirants who want to become the teacher for class 1 to class 5, you have to write paper 1. And those aspirants who want to become the teachers of class 6 to 8, you have to write paper 2. But there will click a question in your mind that, sir, what about writing both the papers? Of course, yes, you can write both the papers as well. You can write paper 1 also, at the same time you can write paper 2 as well. Or if you think, sir, what if I don't write paper 1 and I want to write only paper 2? That is also possible. If you say, if I want to write only paper 1 and not paper 2, that is also possible. So everything is possible, alright? Whether you write both the papers or any one of the paper, you can do it as you wish. Now what happens is that as you have heard already about the case, again, like B.Ed candidates, they should not apply for LP government jobs, and also these things are going on. So now they have changed the eligibility for LP, which means those candidates or those teachers who have done B.Ed, you are not allowed to write LP exams, or you are not allowed to write paper 1. All right, so those teachers who have done only B.Ed, you will not be able to write paper 1. Of course, those teachers who have done DL.Ed, you can write paper 1. All right, so these are certain changes in the eligibility criteria, but this is not a big deal, because when you are filling up the form, you can cross check that. And of course there will be no option. Suppose you are only B.Ed candidate, you have not done your DL.Ed, then when you are applying for LP exam, automatically in the screen it will flash back that you are not eligible, so need not worry. And yes, as I'm explaining this, one more thing I remember is that when online applications will be available for Mtet exams, my team Ashok Tutorials will also guide you how to fill up the application form, how to fill up, how to resize your images, how to upload your documents, how to scan your signature, how to scan your documents, and all everything we will guide you, provided you connect with us. And one of the best way to connect with us is following our Telegram channel. All right, do follow our Telegram channel, Ashok Tutorial. Then alright, so let's talk about paper 1. So paper 1 has got 5 subjects. What are they? That is CDP. CDP means Child Development and Pedagogy. Then we have English, compulsory. These subjects are compulsory, right? Like CDP is compulsory, English is compulsory. Then again you'll have language. That language you can choose according to your convenience. If you're good at Khasi, you choose Khasi. If you're good at Garo, you choose Garo. If you're good at Hindi, you choose Hindi. If you're good at Bengali, you choose Bengali. If you're good at Assamese, you choose Assamese. If you're good at Nepali, you choose Nepali, like that. Right, so you have to choose one language paper, that is optional. And then you have environmental studies and mathematics. I hope you understood. You have got CDP, Child Development and Pedagogy. You have got English, you have got mathematics, you have got environmental studies. So all these 4 subjects are compulsory, and then one optional subject, language subject or language paper you have, that is, it can be Garo, English, not English, it can be Garo, Khasi, Nepali, Urdu, like that. Alright, so now let me explain to you the syllabus. So this is Mtet syllabus 2023, Child Development and Pedagogy. So let me zoom it. I think it's better I zoom, right? Let me zoom it. Alright, so it's zoomed. So what do you see here? You see there are 7 units. Alright, so we will discuss it unit by unit. So first of all, what we will do is that see, look here, this is for 30 marks. How much marks? Total mark given to you will be 30. And of course the good news is that there is no negative marking here. No negative marking, which means even if your answer is wrong, your marks will not be deducted, which is a very good thing, right? We never know, the rules are changing every day. So maybe in the future to come, in the days to come, there might be a rule which will give negative marking to Mtet aspirants. So that's why as of now there is no rule. So that's why let's take the full advantage. How do we take the full advantage? We take the full advantage by attempting all the questions, which means whether you are sure or not sure, you have to tick it. Just tick it, because as we know that Mtet exam is only this one MCQ, right? Multiple choice questions. So you have to tick only. And so far this exam has been only in offline mode. Offline mode means you have to write the exam in OMR sheet. OMR sheet of paper you have to write this exam, right? And how to use OMR sheet, that also I have already uploaded the video in my channel. Kindly go out and check out. All right, you check out, because many of you might not be familiar with what is OMR sheet, how to write in OMR sheet. So I have, that's why, made a video, dedicated video on OMR sheet of paper, how to use it. So please go and check that video out. Now see, for paper 1 child development and pedagogy, there are 7 units and you will be getting 30 marks. 30 marks means 30 questions, which means one question will carry 1 mark. If you give one correct answer, you will get 1 mark. If you give one wrong answer, you'll not get any marks. All right, so there are 7 units, so let us see what we have. So number 1, unit 1 is understanding development. What is this? Understanding development. Now concept of development you have to study. You have to study development is continuous and a lifelong process. Then you have to study stages of development with respect from infancy to childhood stage, development of children in a socio-cultural context, factors affecting development. See, this unit is dedicated to development, the development of a child, right? The development of a child. So how does the child develop? What are the domains of development, like physical development, cognitive development, emotional development, social development, psychological development, physical development, right? So all these factors will be taken into account when we are discussing this unit. So what is development? Then is development a continuous process? Is development a lifelong process? That we will study. Then we will study like how the development takes place from infancy, the moment the child is an infant, and till the stage of adolescence, right? Then development of children in a social, see, we know that no man is an island, which means we all like to live in a society, right? We want to live in a society because we are social beings. Human beings are social beings. So what happens is that the society, the culture, the community, the family, the relatives, the friends, the teachers, everybody influence us. They might influence us in a positive way or in a negative way. So it depends on our society in which we are living, that whether we will be impacted positively or negatively. So, and there are certain factors which will affect the development of an individual. So all those things we will study in dedicated videos, right, which I will be making as we proceed. So now let's go to unit 2. So unit 1 is done. Let's go to unit 2 now. Let's see what we have in unit 2. All right. All right, unit 1. Now unit 2. Let's go to unit 2. So aspects of development. See, as I was explaining now, that there are different types of development. There is physical and motor development, cognitive development, social and emotional development, moral development, and language development. Now physical development, you know what is physical development. Physical development means which we can see: the height, the weight, the height of the individual, right? We are able to see. Then motor development, motor abilities, the movement. Then cognitive, the mental abilities. Then social development, emotions, emotional developments. Then moral developments, ethical development of the individual. Then language development, how the language develops, listening, speaking, reading, writing skills, how it develops. So all those things we will study in this particular unit, that is aspects of development. Or these topics are very, very easy and very, very simple. So let's go down now. Let's see what we have next. So this does not look good, so let me rub it. All right, so next we have gender development. See, in the present scenario, it is very important for us to maintain the gender balance, equality between the genders we have to maintain. So that's why they have given us this gender development topic or unit in CDP, and this is very important, my dear friends, especially when you are working in a co-educational institution, which means you're working in a school where both the boys and girls are there. So you have to take this particular unit very very seriously, which means you should know how to deal with both the genders, with the male as well as with the females, right? So we have to understand here concept of gender and sex. See, concept of gender and sex, we have to understand gender and sex are not the same things. These are very very different. Sex means whether you are a male or a female, right? But gender is a social, is a societal, you know, this gender is something which is given by the society, right? It does not actually exist, but gender is something which is given by the society. So, and sex is given by biological means, which means whether an individual is a male or a female is known on the basis of the sex of the individual, right? Now we have to understand gender socialization and stereotypes. Now, what is stereotype? Stereotype is a very important word which you have to focus on. Stereotypes means when you have, you know, let's do an experiment now, or let's do an activity. Now, if I say pink, whether it will be for boy or a girl, what comes into your mind? Of course, you are saying that pink means for girls, right? If I say about toys like a shotgun, a gun, or a rifle, boy comes into your mind or girl? Yes, the boy comes into your mind. If I talk about car, or if I talk about buses, toys, right? Toys. So what comes into your mind? Boy or a girl? Of course, a boy, right? When I talk about Barbie dolls, what comes into your mind? A girl, right? So these are what? These are all gender stereotypes, which means these are something very negative, very bad. You know, if you are already parents and you are having both daughter and son, do not do discrimination, which means don't do like, oh, my, let me buy a pink dress for my daughter and a blue color or a red color or a black color cloth or dress to my boy, to my son. Don't do like this. You can, you know, you can buy a pink dress for your boy, for your son, and different color apart, you mean like any other color except pink for your daughter, which means you are, you know, you are not practicing gender stereotypes. Practicing gender stereotypes means you will say girls are supposed to sweep the houses, they are supposed to cook, they are supposed to clean the utensils, and boys are supposed to go out and fetch firewoods, to fetch water, to go for shopping. These are the boys things, these are the boys work, these are the girls work, which it means that you are being gender stereotype, which is not good for the society. So as parents, as teachers, as elders, what you have to do is that do not discriminate among the gender. All right, let the girl, whatever she want to do, let her do. Whatever the boy wants to do, let him do. Whatever your daughter wants to wear, let her wear. Whatever your son wants to wear, let him wear. Just wearing a pink dress, I do not become a girl, or just wearing a black dress, the girl do not become a boy. So it is the individual's choice what we want to do and how we want to do. So as teachers, you can always take different steps in order to promote, you know, gender equality. So even I do wear pink dresses, I wear pink t-shirts. Why so? So that, you know, the children, they learn that, oh, even males can wear pink dresses. So it is already subconsciously in the mind of the girls or the boys or the children that pink is for girls, but it should not be so. All right, it should not be so. So we should you know, maintain equality between the genders. Now, gender inequality, gender bias in educational practices. See, in schools as well, you will see directly or indirectly there comes a time when there are gender discrimination, right? The boys are expected to do hard works or the outdoor works, and the girls are expected to do decorations and all, right? So this is also a kind of gender discrimination. And the role of a teacher on gender equality. Now, see, you and me, we as teachers, we play a very important role in the lives of the children, in shaping the environment, in shaping the society, in shaping the future of the nation. So what we can do is that, first of all, If we want a change, we should change ourselves. So I believe that there will be many of you who are watching my video right now, you already have gender stereotypes in your brain, in your mind, which means you believe that these things has to be done by girls and these certain things has to be done by the boys. So try to avoid that. Don't do that. Try to avoid. Try to maintain equality between both the genders, right? As teachers, you are the guide, or you are the somebody to whom the children will look up to. So it is your duty, it is my duty, that we guide them in in a proper way, which means we play a vital role in shaping the society. So you know show them examples, set examples for them. Start from your home itself, in your house itself you can start it with, right? So I hope that by watching my videos, you are able to change or alter your mental status about gender inequality or about gender discrimination. So we all know that we are not perfect, right? But of course we can always give a try. So let us try to do it as teachers, right? Let's go to the next unit. That is unit number 4, methods of child study. See, now what happens is that in our schools we have children coming from different background, right? Some are coming from financially uh, low background, some are coming from broken families, some are coming from family illiterate families, right? So different child is coming from different family background or society. So in order to give individual attention, what we have to do is that we have to follow certain methods of child study. All the child will not be brilliant and all the child will not be slow learners. So there are variations, there is a mixture, right, between both the child, between the children from different families and different backgrounds. Now, how do we maintain a balance in a classroom? See, in a classroom what happens, one child may learn very fast while the other may lag behind. So how are we going to maintain a balance between the two? So we can maintain a balance between the two by giving more time, or by organizing a specific study on particular children, whoever is facing the problem. So how do we do that? There are certain methods. For example, naturalistic and participant observation. So this is the first thing which we can do as teachers, which means that whenever you are asking a children to do certain activity or trying to involve that child, and you see that that child is not comfortable and that child is always resisting, so you should take that child as a case, and you should do a thorough study about him, about his family backgrounds, about his health issues, about his financial constraints and all. So you should take extra effort and you can bring a change in that particular child's life, right? Then case study is there, and this naturalistic and participant observation, these things I will explain in another video when I'm explaining. Right now I'm just explaining the syllabus only, so I'll not go into details. Then you have reflective journals, then you have student portfolio, then you have anecdotal records, then you have questionnaires. So these are the different methods by which you can study the child, or you can study the children. All right, let's go to the next unit, that is all right, this one. All right, so here we have inclusive education and children with special needs. See, CWSN, sometimes you are asked the full form of CWSN in your exam, so you should know that CWSN means children with special needs. So we have to study about inclusive education. So concept, meaning of inclusive education, what is inclusive education. Now I am sure that you all, those who have done your DLED and your BEd, we have already studied about the inclusive education, right? So what is an inclusive education, then how do we do, what do we do, what are the types of children studying there. So all these things we have studied, right? So I'll explain in detail next time. Now, difference between integrated and inclusive education. So there are two types of education basically, that is integrated and inclusive education. Now what is inclusive education, what is integrated education, all these things we will learn. Now, understanding exceptional students. Now, all the students are not the same. They have individual differences, right? Some of them may be talented, some of them might be creative, some of them might be slow learners, and some of them might be underachievers. Underachievers means those who have the potential of doing but are not able to do so due to certain conditions. Now, we should also know about understanding disability and types of disability. There are 21 types of disabilities. So what are the different types of disabilities we have to study, like dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, dysgraphia? So all those things we have to learn, right? Then teacher's role for children with special needs. So how a teacher can help those children with special needs, what the teacher can do, how the teacher can do, how the teacher can bring the change, how the teacher can maintain dignity, and how the teacher can maintain the attitude, the proper attitude, the positive attitude of the learners, and the balance between the classroom environment and the outside world. All these things we shall study in this particular unit. Now, the next unit we have is learning and pedagogy. Let's see, learning and pedagogy. All right, this is the second last unit. So, learning and pedagogy, concept of teaching and learning, factors affecting learning. So what are the ways in which a teacher teaches, what are the ways in which the learner learns, what are the factors involved, all these things we will study. Then basic learning styles, so audio, visual, and tactile or kinesthetic learners. Now, some learners can learn through audio, some can learn through chalk and talk methods, some can learn through lecture methods, some can learn through visuals, some can learn through chart papers, through flashcards, through videos, through activities, through experiments. So all those things we shall study. Now, how students learn. Some students can learn through observation, inquiry. So those things we will learn. Then teaching skills and activities. So what are the different types of teaching skills the teacher can use? What are the different types of experiments the teachers can do? What are the different type of activities the teachers can do? So those things also we should consider. Then steps of preparation of teaching. Now, as teachers, we know what is pre-teaching, what is transaction of lessons, and post-teaching, including teaching plans or lesson plans. So when we were doing a B.Ed or D.L.Ed, we have come across lesson planning, right? So we know what a lesson plan is. And if you do not know what a lesson plan is, kindly let me know in the comment section so that I can show you how a lesson plan looks like, or I can help you to make one. All right. Now, approaches to learning and teaching: teacher-centered approach, learner-centered approach, constructivist approach. Now, you see, whenever we are teaching somebody or teaching a child, or in the process of teaching and learning, the teaching and learning should not be teacher-centered, but it should be always child-centered, which means the child should be the center of education, not the teacher, because we are teaching the child, not the teacher, right? The teacher, he knows, and the teacher is teaching only whatever he knows himself. So there is no point of taking teacher as the center of the process of teaching and learning, but the child. All right. Then we will also study about the constructivist approach, what a constructivist approach is. Then school internship experiences. So we shall also see what school internship experiences talk about. So here comes the last unit, that is assessment of students' performance. So we know how are we going to assess, or how are we going to find out which child has improved, which child is not improving, which child needs more time, which child is doing excellence. So we have to see all this. So we can assess the children in different ways. So let's see what are the ways. That is formative and summative assessment. So formative and summative assessment. Formative assessment means conducting class test, something like you are conducting or doing the assessment during the course of study. All right, while asking questions in the classroom, while teaching a certain topic, these all comes under formative assessment. Now, summative assessment means something which you are doing at the end of the session. For example, half yearly examinations, annual examinations. So these things are coming under summative assessment. Now, school-based assessment. Now, SBA, this full form also you should know very well. SBA means school-based assessment. So how are we assessing the children in the school? Now, assessment for learning and assessment of learning. These terms are very important. Here what you have to remember is of and for. These are two important words. So assessment for learning is different and assessment of learning is different. Now techniques, alright, assessment for learning and assessment of learning are two different things. Alright, so techniques and tools of SBA including activity based assessment. So we use different tactics and techniques and tools in order to assess the students based on the activities, all right, or based on the performance. Now different types of questions. So questions can be of different type. It can be close-ended questions, open-ended questions, low order questions, middle order questions, high order questions. So we have to keep that in mind while making question papers for the examination. Now assessment and remedial measures. So assessment I have already told you. Now what is remedial measures? So see, when you are teaching a particular topic in the classroom, you never know how much the child has understood, right? So you will suppose you have a classroom of 40 students and from there you see that 10 students are not able to understand or need more time in order to understand what you are teaching. They are not able to they are not able to cope up with the pace you are teaching in the normal classroom. So what you as teacher can do is that you can take remedial classes for certain such type of students, which means you will give extra time, you will give extra teaching, you will give extra energy, extra effort in order to make what you are trying to say understandable, easy to those children who need your help. All right, so remedial teaching means to teach again. So whatever you have taught, you are teaching again to them so that they are able to reach to the level of those students who are higher from them. All right, so I think this was all in this particular subject. Let me see what we have. All right, here comes another subject. So what you have seen is that you have seen that there are 7 units and this unit 1 is for 5 marks, then unit 2 is for 5 marks, unit 3 is for 3 marks, unit 4 is for 3 marks, unit 5 is for 4 marks, and unit 6 is for 5 marks, and finally the unit 7 is for 5 marks. So when you plus all this, you are going to get what? You are going to get 30 marks. And here see reference book is given, but I would suggest that you should not buy, or you should not, don't go for these books, because so IGNOU books, you know very well that lots and lots of information are given which is not even needed. Of course, when you are doing your masters or you are doing your research or PhD, it is needed. IGNOU books are very good, but for Mtet examination, I don't think IGNOU books are required. All right, so for your Mtet exam, you should stick direct to the point. You should go direct to the point. So once again, I would like to suggest you or urge you that go for the study materials which gives you direct understanding, enough brief understanding, short understanding. No need to go for long paragraphs, long stories, long examples, because that much is not required. So you stick to the point, talk to the point, and don't waste your time reading irrelevant stuffs. All right, so don't you don't have to see. One thing, according to my experience, let me tell you, is that when you have too many sources of learning, that you are learning from YouTube, also you are learning from, you're studying from newspapers, also from research paper, also from IGNOU book, also from school book, also from different YouTubers, different Mtet channel or different YouTubers. So you waste a lot of time, you waste a lot of energy. So my point is just that follow only one. All right, follow only one. Try to minimize, try to find something which has got a lot of information in just that one video, or which has got a lot of notes in only that one chapter or one book, in whichever form you are provided with the notes. All right, so go for that. Don't bang your head here and there, because when you are trying to focus on too many things, you will be left with you'll be left with too many choices, and you will be confused. You will not know what to study, what not to study. That's why I'm saying direct to the point. Follow Ashok tutorials, follow all the videos. If required, you can purchase our notes, if required, you can comment, you can text, you can join the Telegram group, and always feel free to connect with us. We are always happy to help you. We are always there for you. All right. So this is all in this video, I think. So let me explain to you about another subject. So let's see what we have in the next, as the next subject what we have. So I hope everything is clear in this CDP portion. Yes, one important point I just want to add is that, you know, child development and pedagogy is there in all the subjects. Whatever subject you study, whether you're studying English or Garo or Khasi or EVS or mathematics or science or social science, everywhere CDP is there, right? So what you will do is that you will give most of your time, most of your energy, most of your focus to the CDP subject. So if you are mastering CDP, if you are very good at CDP, believe me, my dear friends, nothing can stop you. And let me also tell you, let me also give you one very important and useful trick. That is, you know, be it environmental studies, be it mathematics, science, social science, Garo, whatever the subject is, everywhere you will have two parts. One is the content related part, another is the CDP portion. So suppose let me talk about environmental studies. So in environmental studies you will have 30 marks, right? So 15 or 10 you will 10 to 15 you will have for CDP in environmental studies, and 10 to 15 you will have for environmental studies. All right. So it does not mean that when we are talking about environmental studies, 30 marks totally will be for only EVS. No, CDP related questions are asked. The same goes for mathematics also. So some of you might be thinking, I'm very weak at mathematics, I'm not good at mathematics, how am I going to solve? No need to worry at all. Don't practice, do nothing, but just clear your CDP portion, because there will be 10 to 15 questions in mathematics which will be CDP related, which means you don't have to solve them, you just have to answer them. Suppose if you are example, there might be a question like asking you, when you suppose you are a mathematics teacher and you want to teach the children about the geometrical shapes, and you have to teach it outside the classroom. So how are you going to teach it to the students? Of course, we know we will show the students different shapes, right? We will try to show them the shape of a brick, the shape of a planet, the shape of a ball, right? The shape of a carom board, the shape of a pool, the shape of a notice board, the shape of a this one, what we say, blackboard, the shape of the building. So all these things we can show to the children and make them learn or remember the concept of mathematics or geometry in a more detailed and a specific and a more understanding way. So this is what we do, how do we do. So please do not worry, my dear friends, you don't have to worry at all, right? You don't have to worry at all. Always feel free to connect with Ashok Tutorials. We are always there to help you. We are happy to help you. We are there only for you. So we want to guide you as much as possible so that you pass with flying colors, you get a government job, and you can settle down and you can start your life as you have desired, right? So we always have prayers for you, best wishes for you, and whatever the best we can do for you, we always believe in that and we will always do it for you, right? So we are always there for you. So don't feel lost, don't feel lonely, don't feel hopeless, because we are always there to give you hope. All right, so let's continue with the next subject now. Let's see what we have. Hello everyone, so welcome you back to Ashok Tutorials. Well, recently we have started with the syllabus detailed explanation for 2024, right? So those Mtet aspirants who are getting ready for the Mtet examination of 2024, this syllabus is for you. So what happens is that the syllabus was changed last year, that is 2023, right? And most probably, in fact, it's not going to change anymore as of few years. So we will continue to follow this syllabus. All right, so what we will do, what we have done is that we have already started making, explaining the syllabus first. So this is what I believe, right? So we have to know the syllabus in detail, then only we can, go on studying the content topics, right? So we have already started with paper 1. So this child development and pedagogy, as you can see on screen, you can see this, right? So you can see on screen, so this is already done. All right, so now what we will be doing for paper 1, that is for LP section, is that we will see the language. All right, so let's go and see which language we have here. So alright, so here you can see Mtet syllabus 2023, subject is language 1. See, you have got how many subjects altogether? You have got 5 subjects altogether, right? That is CDP, then language 1, language 2, and then mathematics and environmental studies, right? So you have got 5 subjects altogether. So from there, what happens? Language, you have to choose 2 languages. 2 languages means one will be compulsory, that is English is compulsory, right? English is compulsory. After that, that MIL language or your regional language or the language you like or you prefer can be chosen by you. All right, so here what happens is that language 1 is given as Khasi, right? Khasi. So language 1, you can choose it as optional, right? If you are comfortable with Garo, you can take Garo. If you're comfortable with Hindi, then Hindi. English is not there, right? In optional subject, English is not there, right? You have to choose any other language apart from English. So you can choose Khasi, you can choose Garo, Nepali, Hindi, Bengali, Assamese, Urdu, any language you prefer, right? So this is Khasi syllabus. So I'll just slide through, you see slowly. So this is all paper 1 Khasi, and this will be for 30 marks. All right, 30 questions will be there for 20 marks. So this is for Garo. So since this Garo is written in English, let me explain it to you. All right, let me explain this Garo to you. So see, one thing which you have to remember is that the syllabus is same. All right, here I am fortunate in fact that it is written, the Garo is written in English, so I can explain it to you. So whatever is written in Garo language, the same is going to be in Assamese, in Bengali, in Khasi, in Nepali. All right, so same content will be there, which means here number 1 is given as nature of oral language acquisition. So same thing will be written in Khasi also, but in Khasi language. Same thing will be written in Bengali also, but in Bengali language. All right, so here what you will see is that this is an optional paper. So suppose you are choosing Garo, so Garo will have full marks of 30. There will be 30 questions. All right, 30 questions for 30 marks. So let's see for paper 1, that is LP section. So those who want to become the teacher for classes 1 to 5, this is for you. So let's see what we have. Number 1 we have, what we have in number 1, we have nature of oral language acquisition. Nature of oral language acquisition. So whenever you hear the word oral, what do you understand? You understand that it has something to do with the mouth, with the voice, right? Oral means mouth. So nature, what is the nature of oral language acquisition? So how do we acquire language, oral language? So we will see there home language versus school language. So we all have our own specific home languages, right? Some of us, we speak Khasi, then Garo, then Nepali, then Bengali, then Assamese, then Urdu, right? We speak at home. But then in school, of course, we have a common language. If you go to a Hindi school, you will speak Hindi. If you go to a Bengali school, you will speak in Bengali. If you go to English school, you will speak in English, right? So there is a difference between the home language and the school language. All right, now functions of language in and outside the classroom. So how does language helps us in the classroom and outside the classroom, that we shall see. Then acquisition of language, so how do we acquire the language? So that also we will see. And now, my dear friends, if you need the notes, see, when we are making notes for you, suppose here number 1 is the nature of oral language acquisition. Under this we have subtopics like home language versus school language. So if you take the notes from us, if you purchase the notes from us, you will get systematically all these topics will be explained in detail in our notes. So you don't have to go here and there buying, purchasing different type of books, different referring to different types of textbooks or websites or whatever. So you don't need. So we have made systematically very detailed, in very much of detail and very easy explanation. We have kept the language we have used is very easy to understand. All right, so if you wish, you can buy it from us. Now let's see the second one. What is that second one? We have the social context of language. What context? The social context of language. So child's mother tongue or home language and its importance. See, this was a very important question. It was asked once that which language is known as home language, or what is the another name for home language. So you should know that home language is also known as mother tongue, and mother tongue is also known as home language. All right, then standard language and dialects also we have to learn. So these things are very very important, very important, practical, and it will help us to grow as individuals in the society, and it will really help us in day-to-day activities. All right, now let's go to number 3. Number 3, we have importance of language skills. So this one I have explained many times, which means that importance of language skills. So language skill is very important. There are 4 types of language skills that is called LSRW. LSRW. So sometimes they will give you short form LSRW and you have to find out what does it mean. So first of all comes the listening skills. So what do we develop first? We as individuals, when we are born, first of all we try to listen with our ears, right? So listening skills comes first, then we try to imitate, then we try to speak little bit, right? So that is when speaking skills develop. Then comes reading skills. So then we go to school, we study, we read, we sing rhymes, right? So that is called reading skills, and then eventually we develop our writing skills as well. So all these 4 are the language skills which every one of us should have. That is listening skills, speaking skills, reading skills, writing skills. So all these will be given differently in different MIL papers. All right, so don't worry. If you understand in English, you can understand, you can translate and write down in Khasi or any other language. Right, let's go to now number 4. So let's see what we have in number 4. All right, application of skills in a classroom situation. Application is how do we apply the language skills where? In the classroom situation. So techniques in teaching a particular topic using 4 skills. So when we are teaching in the classroom or when we are interacting in the classroom, we are making use of all the 4 language skills, right? We are giving lectures or we are giving explanations, so students are listening. We speak to one another, we discuss with one another, then the students read, the teachers read, and then the teachers write on the board and the students copy, right? So all the 4 language skills are being exercised in the classroom, right? So application of skills in a classroom situation. So using appropriate teaching aids in the classroom for teaching a particular lesson. See, we have different subjects in school, right? Like we have English, we have science, social science, health education, computer, English, Garo, Khasi, environmental studies. So we have different types of subjects, and all the different types of subjects has got different types of teachers, the experts, right? The experts. So now what happens? We all use different types of teaching methods. At the same time, we also use different types of teaching aids, right? And it does not mean that science has got a lot of teaching aids while English is deprived. No, all the subjects have got enough teaching aids, but it depends on the teacher, how effective the teacher is, how hardworking the teacher is, how smart the teacher is, and how much effort the teacher is trying to put in his teaching. So it totally depends on the teacher what type of teaching aids he or she is using. So let me tell you some common some common this one teaching aids which is applicable in all the subjects. So some of the common teaching aids which is applicable in all the subjects will be flow charts, chart papers, flashcards, then activities, right, then group discussions, then then we have all right, audios, videos, pictures. So all these are applicable to all the subjects, but then specifically we have other types of teaching aids in teaching mathematics and science, like we can uh, we can take the help of models, right? We can take the help of models. We can design our own objects or our own experimental tools. So in that way we can make the teaching and learning more effective. Now, why do you think that when we show flashcards, when we show the students the different types of videos or audios or pictures, they are able to learn more? Because whenever we are able to use maximum of our senses of hearing, senses of sight, senses of speaking, so we are able to remember the things for a longer time. All right, now how do we remember the things in the longer time? So in order to remember the thing for a long time, we need to understand. And how do we understand? We understand when we are being the center of education, which means the child should be the center of the study, the child should be the center of learning, right? So our teaching method should be in such a way that it is not teacher centered, in fact it is child centered, right? It should be child centered. So this is how you can help the children by using different type of teaching aids. So whenever we talk about teaching aids, it does not always mean taking a chalk and a duster, not so. Now let's come to number 5. So number 5, we have how to develop a listening skills. See, we all like to talk so much, right? Though we have got only one mouth, but we speak so much. And we have got 2 ears, but then we don't want to listen much, right? It is opposite. We try to talk much with one mouth and we try to listen less with 2 ears. So God knows better, so He has given us 2 ears so that we listen more and speak less, right? So how to develop a listening skills? So listening to a story, so in order, if you want to improve, see, whenever I'm saying you, it does not mean you, it means the students. I am talking on behalf of the students. Alright, so whenever we want our students to understand, so whenever we want our students to listen to us, or whenever we want them to improve their listening skills, what we will do is that we will ask them to listen to a story. Alright, listening to a story develops our language skills. So in our olden times we used to listen to stories, right? Grandma's story, grandpa's story. But then these days the stories are not used much, but we should make the children used to it, because when we are narrating a story, it is developing their sense of listening. Now listening to a poem, so these things are applicable very much in language, right? Since I'm talking about language syllabus, it can be any language, it can be English, Hindi, Garo, Khasi, Nepali, Bengali, Assamese, right? So it can be any language. Then listening to a conversation. Now what is a conversation? Conversation means when two people are conversing with one another, or a group of discussion, right? A group of people talking with one another, that is conversation. So when we are listening to conversation, we develop our language skills, right? Do you believe me? Yes, of course you do. Because see, suppose I shifted to Kolkata and I do not know Bengali, but when I hear people speaking in Bengali, that those words will be repeatedly coming in front of me. I heard the same word in shop, I heard the same word on street, I heard the same word on taxi, I heard the same word at home. So with friends, so I will kind of develop that listening skill, and I will kind of understand. I will be like starting to understand that particular language, provided I'm interested in that. If you are never interested in particular language, you will never learn it, right? So the more languages you learn, the easier your life becomes. So this is what you should believe and you should practice. All right, now let's go to 6, that is how to develop speaking skills. See, we have seen how to develop listening skills. So in order, if you want your listening skills to be developed, you should listen to a story, you should listen to poems, you should listen to conversation, okay? And this way your listening skills will be improved. Now, how will you improve your speaking skills? Suppose, many of us, we have got stage fears, right? When you go to stage or when you go in front of the audience, you become mum, or you know you are not able to speak, you stammer, right? You're not able to speak, you're nervous, you know what to say but you don't know how to begin, how to say it, how to hold on to it, right? So this is what happens to us. So we have stage fear. We cannot talk in front of the crowd, right? We cannot talk standing on the stage in front of a huge crowd. We cannot do that. So if you want to overcome this fear of yours of not being able to speak in front of a crowd, we have to develop our speaking skills. So how do we develop our speaking skills? Let's see. So storytelling. So when we are telling, see, as teachers, what do we do in the classroom? We are explaining. English teachers, language teachers, they are always explaining the stories to the children, right? In that way, those teachers are lucky enough, fortunate enough to develop their speaking skills. But it does not mean the science teachers or maths teachers, they cannot. We can also develop our language skills, right? By explaining, by talking, by conversing, right? Then what happens here? Dramatization. So developing speaking skills. So how do we do that? Drama. You know what is drama, right? Drama. When we were in school, we used to do drama, no? So that drama it is talking about. So whenever we are taking part in drama, what happens? We are given few dialogues to utter, right? Then that also helps in the language, in developing the speaking skills of the learner. Now conversation, you already know. Dialogue and role play, recitation. So what is recitation? Recitation means reading out loud the poems and all, right? Then songs, when the children are singing in group from class nursery to class 8, they sing, right? They are singing. In fact, everybody sings from up to class 12 also. We are singing when we are in the morning assembly. We sing our national anthem, right? Then we sing different type of school songs, so hymns. So it develops our speaking skills. Now poems. So many of you like to read poems, so you develop your speaking skills there. Then language games. So there are different type of language games. Then chants, there can be different type of chants which you can use in order to develop your speaking skills. All right, now let's go to the next. What we have here is, see, this is the end. So number 7, what we have in number 7, how to develop a reading skill. See, we have already learned about speaking skills, we have already learned about listening skills. Now we are going to read about the third skill, that is the reading skills. So how are we going to develop our reading skills? Reading a story with comprehension. See, now all of you, those who are watching my video and you are going to write your Mtet exam, in your question paper, in your language question paper, you will find this comprehension. Comprehension means what? Comprehension means a story. Few paragraphs will be given to you, and then you have to read those paragraphs and you have to answer the questions given after that particular paragraph. So this is what we call comprehension. So the examiners or the DERT, they are setting such kind of questions which will develop our reading skills. So in order to develop our reading skills, they are giving us comprehension. All right, so when we know how to read a comprehension or a story in comprehension, we are developing our reading skills. Now reading a poetry with comprehension, so this is the same with the play, right? Now wordless pictures, wordless picture books. Now what is this? Wordless picture books, which means there will be no words, right? There will be picture. So this thing, the English teacher or the language teacher will be able to elaborate and understand well, right? Then picture reading or picture book, then reading aloud by the teacher. So in the classroom, the teacher are reading aloud to all the students, right? So this will also help in the reading skills development of the learner, because the learner is observing the teacher, how the teacher is pronunciating different type of words, how the teacher is taking the pose, stimulus variation used by the teacher, then examples used by the teacher, then you know voice modulation used by the teacher. So all those things will be taken into account by the learners who are learning, right? So this is done for reading skills. So we are done with three skills, that is listening, speaking, reading, and the last skills comes now, that is writing skills. Which is the last skill? The writing skill, right? So how are the students going to develop their writing skills? So the students are going to develop their writing skills by the following way. And my dear friends, my dear teachers, what happens is that we all were students once upon a time, right? So whatever is given in this syllabus, we all have done it. Yes, we have done it, right? We have read the poems, we have read the stories, we have read the plays, we have read the dramas, then we have read the grammars, then and these writing skills which we are going to discuss, all of us, we have done it, right? So how did we do it, or which subject helped us to do it? So let us see. Later writing is quite funny, right? Because all of you watching my video right now, you might have written later someday or the other, right? But we don't write those kind of letters, right? Whatever they teach in school these days, we don't write that letter. What we used to do, what type of letters we write? Love letters, right? Yes. So what did we do? What do? We used to write love letters, right? Because why? Because that time the mobile phone was not there, WhatsApp was not there, Instagram was not there, right? So in our time, if we like somebody, and we also have a peon, right? We have a postman, right? So we used to write the letter. Suppose somebody is in class 10 and he or she happens to love a girl from class 9, so he will have a peon, right? He will give the letter to that peon, and that peon will pass the letter to class 9 girl. So this is what we understand about letter writing, right? And I know we all are very much expert in writing letters, right? So all of us, we have written letters in one time or the other. Then we draw the hearts, different type of colors we use. Some of us, we are very much creative, so we put some flowers in the letters. Some of us, we put some sweets in the letters, right? And then we pass it on, and the next day we wait for the reply, right? And you fold the paper in such a nice way, in the form of square, in the form of rectangle, right? So those letters were what letters? Love letters. We used to write in our childhood, right? So we all enjoyed writing letters so much. But then technically, what is letter writing? Let's see. So technically, what is letter writing according to grammar is different, right? So this is formal. Whatever we write outside the classroom, the love letters, the friendship letters, whatever letters, those were all informal. But formal letters means in a specific manner, in a disciplinary manner. We have to follow certain format, right? So your English teachers will teach, and those English teachers or language teachers watching my videos, you know what a letter writing is in a better way, right? How do we address, to whom we are writing the letters, when are we writing the letters, what is the subject, so you know it better. Then use of correct paragraph writing. See, paragraph writing also we have done, right? We have done in class 10. Letter writing also we have done in class 9 and 10. Paragraph writing also 9 10. Then use of correct punctuation. What is punctuation? Punctuation means using or knowing when to use comma, full stop, exclamatory marks, question marks. So we should colon, semicolon. So when we know how to put these punctuation marks in a sentence or in a paragraph, we know that it's going to be very, very effective and easy to understand, right? Then picture composition. So picture composition also we have studied. Then environmental print or print awareness and creating print rich classroom. Now what happens? Print rich classroom means, these days whenever you go to a classroom you will not see an empty wall. You will not see the empty walls. What will happen? Different type of, the pictures, different type of charts, different type of print rich materials are hanged on the walls of the classroom, right? Why? So that the building becomes as learning aids to the learner, which means the learners are able to learn better by, even when the teacher is not there in the classroom, the students can still, refer to the chart paper hanging on the walls, right? So this is why these days, in the present scenario, in the current scenario, we have classrooms which are rich in, you know print rich which are rich with print materials, all right? Print chart papers, flashcards, notice board. So everything is there in the classroom. So this is how it is making our process of teaching learning more effective one, right? Now let's come to the last topic, and that is teaching grammar. I know many of you don't like grammar, especially those coming from science background, from mathematics background, from social science background, except language people. So we don't like grammar so much, right? Because grammar is sometimes quite boring, quite irritating, right? Because we have to follow certain rules and disciplines in order to understand the grammar, and without grammar the intention or the conversation or the language or what you want to convey may be misunderstood if you are not able to use the grammar properly. So that's why grammar is very important, but of course we do feel bored at times in learning grammar, right? I myself also, I don't like grammar much, but still we cannot escape it, so we have to study, right? We have to study the grammar also. So now what happens is that teaching grammar, sentence and its structure. See, we all learn like what is there in a sentence. Object is there, subject is there, right? In a sentence, so those things we study. Then subject and predicate we study in a grammar. Then object, yes, as I said, object. Then part of speech, noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, conjunction, interjection, interrogation. So all these things we study, right? So all these are known as the parts of speech. So parts of speech plays a very crucial role in language or grammar learning, right? So we have to take care of that. Now, suggested reading. So there are certain name of the books given here, but I do not like it much, except this one. This one you can follow. Arch Grammar, E.G. Phillips, M.A. Tura Book Room, West Caro Hills. This one you can follow, but other than this, I don't know what is it. So other than this, you can refer to Ashok Tutorials notes, alright? So you can refer to our notes always. So if you are willing to buy the notes or purchase the notes, you can let us know in the comment section, or you can join our Telegram group, and from there you can avail the notes. And the notes are very much topic specific, and we do not waste your time by giving irrelevant stuffs. All right, we are sticking direct to the point so that you do not waste your time and you stick to the point and you learn what you actually needs to learn. And yes, the solved question papers will also be available of 3 years, that is 2019, then 21 and 23. All right, that also, if you wish to, you can purchase. All right, so you have learned today about what? About the language 1, right? Language 1. So in language 1 you can choose any language, any this paper is optional, so you can choose any of your MIL language: Khasi, Garo, Nepali, Hindi, yes, then Urdu, Bengali, Assamese, anything you can choose, whichever you are comfortable with. And it does not mean that you are Bengali and you like to write your paper 1 as Garo. Of course you can write. It does not mean if you're Garo and you are very good at Hindi, you can write Hindi also. No issue with that, alright? So I hope you are able to understand the syllabus very nicely. So once you understood the syllabus, it becomes very easy for you to go forward with your preparation, because when we do not know the syllabus, how are we going to study? What are we going to study? What are we not going to study? So all those things needs to be kept in mind while preparing for this type of examination. So feel free always to comment in the comment section. We are always there for you, ready to help you and guide you in whatever way possible from our end. Right, so feel free and keep liking, sharing and subscribing to Ashok Tutorials. Do share the videos to your friends, to your loved ones, so that they also gain something or the other, right? Because our aim is to spread education, spread free education. Because in order to organize the coaching center, it is, of course, it is very important, and we are looking forward, if possible, we will organize, or we will begin with the coaching. If not offline, we will try to give the coaching for Mtet examination online. All right, so those who are interested in online coaching for Mtet examination, you can always comment or reach out to us. All right, and you know what, uh, preparation is needed for everything. So you will not pass your Mtet examination by chance, because this is a competitive examination, and once you qualify this exam means you are eligible to be state government employee, right? Which means you'll be working under the government of Meghalaya, government of education department, right? In the education department you'll be working, and you will be a full-fledged uh, government school teacher, right? And your future will be secured, and everything you desire for can be fulfilled. Your dreams can come true only if you pass this exam and qualify for your interviews in the under the government of Meghalaya in education department, so that you can make your future, you can design your future in the way you want. Because it is our dreams, all of us, we dream to be government employees, right? And this education sector is one of the most respected, most disciplined sector, which we all love to be a part of, right? So I believe that all of you watching my videos, understanding my videos, writing down whatever you see in the videos, in the slides, and diligently working hard, preparing with the help of Ashok Tutorials, may pass this examination and may become somebody great in the near future. So I wish you all the best. My good wishes and prayers always with each and every one of you watching my videos. So stay blessed, and may God bless you. And thank you everyone for staying connected with Ashok Tutorials. Thank you. Hello everyone, so welcome you back to Ashok Tutorials, Meghalaya's first Mtet channel, right? So what we are going to do today is that we are going to discuss the Mtet syllabus for 2024, alright? So Mtet syllabus for 2024 exams we are going to discuss today, and we are going to discuss specifically language 2 of English, alright? So language 2 of English, which is a compulsory subject, which means whether you choose for any of the optional language, be it Khasi, Garo, Hindi, Bengali, Assamese, you will definitely have to write this English paper as well. So this is for paper 1, that is for LP section, that is lower primary section. So those candidates or teacher or Mtet aspirants who wants to be the teacher of primary section, this is for you. So language to English. So English will be coming for 30 marks, as you know. So how many questions will be there? Of course, the 30 questions will be there. 30 questions, that means one question for 1 mark, right? So let us see what do we have exactly in the syllabus. So as you can see, A, part A, then I think we have part B, and finally we have part C. So this syllabus is divided basically into 3 parts, that is part A, part B and part C. So first of all, of course, we will begin with part A. So let us see what we have in part A. So part A deals with proficiency in English. Proficiency in English. So again, part A is divided into 3 parts, that is oral language development, reading for meaning, reading for meaning, writing to learn, and then what else we have? Alright, so part A is divided into three, that is oral language development, reading for meaning, writing to learn. Alright, so let's see what are they one by one. So part A, proficiency in English. Purpose of learning language, focus on the different language skills. So oral language development, see this one already I explained in language 1 video also. So here what we will do is that we will learn about the speaking, the words, the pronunciation, the audio, the mouth, right? So oral, what do you understand by oral? We have got oral exams tomorrow. Means what? Means something which do not need a pen and a paper, which has to be said verbally, which has to be said verbally in a verbal manner, right? That is called oral. So how is oral language developed? So listening with comprehension, simple instructions, classroom discussions, poetry recitations, newspaper reading, stories, films, note taking. So all these will help in the development of oral language. What are they? Comprehension. So comprehension is, you already know what is comprehension. Even in this paper, this language to English, you will get comprehension paper. Alright, so what is comprehension? Comprehension means they will give you a story or a narration, and based on that narration you have to answer the questions given at the end of this particular story or comprehension. Alright, you have to do it accordingly. Now listening with comprehension have simple instructions. We have to know what are simple instructions. We have to know what are classroom discussions, poetry recitation, newspaper reading, stories, films, note taking. All this we have to know, and it will come for how many marks? It will come for 3 marks. All right, now again, speaking effectively. So this was what about listening. Now the next one is about speaking, right? And see, the third one is about reading, and then this one is about writing. These are the 4 language skills. I think you are able to make out now. LSRW, right? Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Good. So speaking effectively, so speak fluently with confidence, expressing, summarizing, analyzing, critiquing, opinion building. So whenever we are speaking with our friends on stage, off stage, in the classroom, outside the classroom, in the family, with peers, with friends, whoever they are, we have to be very much confident. We have to be very much confident, and we should give proper expression. We should give the desired expression in what we are intending to say, or in what we are trying to express. So the expression, the body language should be there. All right, so the proper body language should be there, so that what you want to say is not misunderstood. And so these are the different type of tools with which your speaking skills can be enhanced. All right, let's see the next skill, that is reading for meaning. Now we are done with the listening one, with the speaking one. Now we are now we are going forward to reading skills. So reading with understanding, reading across the curriculum, different type of texts, use of dictionary, encyclopedia, internet, newspapers, magazines, notice, advertisements, stories, poems, plays, riddles, jokes, instructions for games. So what are these? These are all the tools which will enhance the students' reading skills, right? Which will enhance the students' reading skills. Now what happens here is that reading with understanding, which means, see, what are the different types of tools, or what different types of materials which will enhance our reading skills. So it can be dictionary. You all know what is a dictionary, right? So we all used to use dictionary in our school time. However, the students in this current scenario are not using the dictionaries much, because they are always, they are already given the cell phones, right? The mobile phones, so they are making use of it. But then it is always better to use the this one, dictionary, the book, the dictionary book, rather than using the mobile phone, because mobile phone has got a lot of distractions, right? When you are going through a dictionary, be it in your mobile phone, notification will come and you will be distracted. So always it's good to use a dictionary. All right. So encyclopedia, you know what is an encyclopedia. Encyclopedia has got all the information related to the particular topic. Then internet, you know what is internet. Without internet we cannot think of surviving, right? See, now you are able to watch my video on YouTube. You are watching this video on YouTube with the help of what? With the help of internet, right? If there is no internet, you will not be able to watch my video at this point of time. So newspapers, we all know the Shillong Times, the Times of India, the Hindus, right? the the economics. So different types of newspapers are there. Then Salanthini Janera, right? Then magazines also, we know different types of magazines, right? The Femina, the Forbes, right? Then notices, you already know what is a notice, which is given in your notice board in your schools. That is notice. Then advertisements, we all are wondering, we all are rushing to find the advertisement for job, for teachers like you and me. We are going through the newspapers every day, the second page of Shillong Times, to find some advertisement related to our own self, right? Then stories, we all love to hear stories, grandpa story, grandma story. Then fictional stories, real stories, the historic stories, right? The horror stories. So all these things we like to listen, right? Then poems, what are poems? Poems can be of different types. Suppose actually, since I don't belong to language background, so I do not know much, but there are different types of poems. Some of the poems can be A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever by John Keats. Then we have The Four Seasons. Then we have The Animal. Then we have Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore, right? So different things we have. Then what we have? Plays means different type of plays, like Othello. Then Uncle Tom's Cabin. Yes, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Then Othello. Then what play we have? Resonance, I think we have in class 11 or 12. That Matrina Michael one, I hope you remember. Those who took additional English, you will know that. Then riddles, you know what are riddles. Jokes, you know. Instructions for games, you know. Now audience performance reading. Now when we are reading in front of the audience, all right, so that is called audience performance reading. This will come for 2 marks. Now let's go to the fourth skill. Listening we are done, speaking we are done, reading we are done. Now we are going to writing to learn. All right, writing to learn. Now how do we write? What do we write? Writing with a sense of purpose. So whenever we are writing something, be it writing a story, writing a poem, writing a song, writing a lyric, writing a letter, writing a message, writing a notice. So whatever we are writing, we have a sense of purpose. We want to say something, we want to convey something, right? So write meaningfully. Different forms of writing: question answer writing, letter writing, messages, notices, posters, slogans, labeling of diagrams, pictures, illustrations, etc. So we have different type of writings. In examination we are going and writing the answers, right? Then we have letter writings. Then we have paragraph writing, passage writing, messages we are typing. Though before typing, the typing itself is known as writing, right? So notices, the posters, we use slogan competition, we use placards, right? So there we write. Then labeling of diagrams. So whenever we are drawing diagrams in science, in social science, we are labeling them. Then we have different type of pictures. Then in pictures also we are labeling it, right? Then illustrations. So all these things, right? Then expressive writing. See, writing can be also expressive, which means we are trying to express who we are or what we are, right? So that is very important. So what happens is that, what are the different types of creative writing? Let us see. So creative writing: stories, poems, dialogues, short to long essays, dramas are all creative writing. Now you see different type of stories, right? you see different types of stories. Now who is writing these stories? The different type of authors, the different type of uh, you know uh, what to say, different type of authors, they are writing the stories. Then different type of poets, they are writing the poems, right? Then dialogues in movies, you see different types of dialogues, so those are written by the people, right? The dialogue. Then acs are also written, then dramas are also written, so different types of things are written and done, right? So these are what, these are all creative writing, which means it use your creation, it is your creation, you are creating, which means the poem the Rabindranath has written, that is where the mind is without fear, it never existed before he wrote it. So the time he wrote it, then only it existed, which means Rabindranath Tagore is the creator of that poem, right? Then now let's come to the second part, that is part B. Part B. So this will be done only. So now we have part B. So in part B we have got knowledge about language. So what type of knowledge we have? See, this part B is very easy and it is divided for 9 marks, that is grammar and composition for 3 marks, sentence construction for 3 marks, word meaning for 3 marks. Very easy this one. I hope you will not lose chance, I hope you will not lose your marks here. So grammar and composition, so you know what a grammar is, right? You know very well what a grammar is. So you have to know where to, you have to know the parts of speech, right? You have to know the parts of speech, like you have to know noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, conjunction, interjection, then interrogation, then uh, articles, determinants, modals, all these things you have to know. All right, then composition is very easy. Then sentence construction, you should know where to put the, how to put the correct form of verb. You have to take care of the subject and the object in a sentence. Then all these things you need to take care of. Then word meaning, antonym, synonym, you have to know. Antonym means what? Opposite. What is the antonym of good? The antonym of good is bad. What is the synonym? Is synonym of good? The synonym of good is something exactly same with good, that means great, we can say, right? For example, so synonym and antonym you have to know very well. Word meaning, so this is what word meaning means. Now let's come to the last topic, that is C. In C we have got internship, and this internship topic will be for 4 marks. How many marks? For 4 marks. So textbook analysis. So my dear friends, all of you have done or are going to do your B.Ed or DLEd, right? Many of you are already qualified, already have done your B.Ed and DLEd. However, some of you might be in the first year, in the second year, in the first semester, third semester, fourth semester, any semester. So now what happens is that someday or the other you have done or you will be doing your textbook analysis. So we all have done textbook analysis when we were in our B.Ed doing internships, right? So you know what a textbook analysis means and why do we do it and how do we do it. So you already know, and those who do not know, you will come to know very soon, especially in your final semester. All right, so don't worry about it. Now writing reports, so we have also written reports, right? Different type of reports. Assembly reports. What is assembly? So every morning we are conducting school assemblies, right? The students are assembling, then the principal gives the motivation for the day. The teachers also speak up sometimes, the children also speak up sometimes. They perform different type of activities on stage, different type of dramas, they sing different type of songs. Then general rules are reminded to them, right? Then announcements are made. Then announcements are made, then discipline is checked, then everything is done in the morning assembly, when the students and the teacher along with the principal or head of the school gather together in the field. In some of the schools the assemblies are done only once in a day, in some schools assemblies are done twice in a day. So why do we do assembly, how do we do assembly, what are the positive impact of the assembly, what are the things done in the assembly, what is the timing of the assembly, what is the duration of the assembly, who are taking parts in the assembly. So all these things are taken into account when we are writing reports on assembly, right? Then next we have annual school sports. So we believe that, you know, always focusing only on academics will not help the students. So physical activities are required, co-curricular activities are required, annual sports day are required, right? Sports are required because we believe in the all-round development of the learners. So all the areas, all the domains of development needs to be considered. That is the physical development, motor development, cognitive development, social development, emotional development, psychological development, moral development. All these spheres of development or all these domains of development needs to be developed, and the students should get enough opportunities to, you know, excel in these types of development. Now you see all the students are not good only at studies, some are good in both co-curricular as well as curricular activities, some are good at scholastic areas as well as co-scholastic areas. So we have to maintain a balance between the two, which means those students who are good at academics, they might not be good at co-curricular activities. But some of the students who are not good at academics, they might be good at co-curricular activities. That's why, you know, keeping all these things in mind, annual school sports are conducted and students are encouraged to take part in that as much as possible, right? Because this is where they come to know who they are, what are their potentials, what are their, you know, future expectations, or what are the ways in which they can excel or develop, or how much they are able to play or do certain activities in that, you know, in that opportunity provided to them. So this is what happens in annual school sports day. So different type of sports are conducted, like you know, marathon is conducted, 100-meter race, 200-meter race, then relay race, then also literary competitions are taken, like the debate competition, extempo speech, quiz competition, poem recitation. So different types of activities are done, right? Now school day, what is school day? So school day is also a type of program which is organized in the school, where the parents are invited, the teachers are invited, the students are invited, and all together they celebrate, they discuss whatever is done in the past, what needs to be improved, and how can they make the school and the students, you know, better day by day. Now reflection about learners and their development or performance. We also reflect back at how much our learners have learned, what are expected of them, what are the, you know, do's and don'ts, and how much they have excelled. And you know, how do we do that? We do this by the end of the session. So we believe in formative assessment as well as summative assessment, right? So formative assessment is a type of assessment which is done during the session, which means class test, group discussions, all this comes under formative assessment. And summative assessment means those assessment which are done at the end of the session, be it semester examination, be it annual examination, half yearly examination, right? So these are what summative examinations. So conducting these type of assessment, we are reflecting back on the learners. We know who needs to develop in which particular area, and how is their performance, how are they going to, you know, cope up with the leg they are facing, how are they, you know, what type of strategies they need to follow in order to, you know, strengthen the areas in which they are weak. Suppose some students are very good at English but not so in mathematics, so he or she needs to put extra efforts in mathematics, right? So likewise, different areas, different domains are identified by the teachers, by the principals, by the parents, and all together they work in order to build the better future of that particular learner or the students of the school, right? So let me rub it off. I think this is all in this language syllabus, language to English. So as I told you, this is a compulsory paper, which means all those who are writing English, those who are writing Hindi, Khasi, Garo, you have to attend this English, all right, paper 1. So this will come for 30 marks. This is divided into three parts. Part A, that is A, proficiency in English. Then part B, language about knowledge about language. Then part C, internship. So I hope I had made clear the entire syllabus of this English. So I hope that uh, you do not have any doubt, and further, if you have any doubt, feel free to comment in the comment section. We are just one call away, all right? So are eager to we are eager to listen from you. We want to know how you feel, what you feel, whether you're able to understand or not, because this is for you, right? This Ashok Tutorials channel belongs to you. This is yours. So when it is yours, you need to take care of it, right? It's yours, so you have to take care of it. You have to take care. So what you have to do is that you have to like the channel, subscribe the channel, and keep sharing it with your loved ones, so that you feel free when your loved ones succeed, right? Because we are human beings, we live in a society, and we are interdependent on each other, right? So that's why maybe just one click of yours, just one share of yours can change the life of somebody else entirely. So the act of kindness, however small, is never, never, like never, what to say, how to say it, it is never wasted, right? However small the act of kindness, it is never wasted, which means it can always change the life of somebody in a positive manner. However, if you are if you are able to help somebody, you also feel good at heart, right? Because this world needs good people. We all need good people to be our neighbors, to be in our family, to be in our friends circle, to be our colleagues, right? We all believe in goodness. So whenever we are surrounded with positive environment, with positive people, our life becomes easier and more meaningful to live on, right? Because our aim is not just to survive but to live the life. So maybe, and you know what, sometimes in life you will not win, you will lose, but still feel happy. Why happy? Because you have given somebody else's you have given somebody else the chance to celebrate, right? You are not celebrating means somebody else is celebrating, because you did not win, so somebody else has won. So be so positive in life that be so mature in life that you are able to see all these things in a matured way, right? In a positive way. So whenever you lose something in life, do not feel sad. Instead, be happy that you have given somebody else the chance to celebrate, right? So never lose heart. Always strive for success. Be the best version of yourself. Be the best. Try your best and leave everything in your luck or in God's hand. So whatever is best for you will definitely come back to you. So this is all I have to say in this video. So my dear friends, if you're liking my videos, if you're liking my channel, if you want to support my channel, please do hit that fat like button, subscribe to the channel and share it. And wishing you all the best from Ashok Tutorials. Thank you everyone. Hello everyone. So welcome you back to Ashok Tutorials. Well, we have seen certain videos of Mtet Syllabus 2023, right? We have already seen for CDP, Language 1, Language 2. So today, this video will be about Mtet Syllabus 2023. Subject will be Environmental Studies and Paper 1, alright? So as you know that Paper 1, which is for LP section, has got 5 subjects, right? So what are they? CDP, Language 1, Language 2, then Environmental Studies, and the last one will be Mathematics, right? So all these subjects are compulsory except the language subject, where you can choose MIL, right? So as you know, this EVS will also be for 30 marks, and then it will be for 30 marks, means there will be 30 questions altogether. One question, 1 mark. So it has got how many units? It has got 12 units. 12 units, all right? So there will be 12 unit in this particular subject. Then, all right, I was trying to take the pen. All right, I got it. So let's see unit wise. So first we have nature, scope, and importance of environmental studies at elementary stage. So, you know, we have to know what is environmental studies, why it is so important that environmental studies are taken even up to graduation. So as you can see, people are taking environmental studies subject in graduation as well. So even I myself have studied environmental studies in my like graduation time, right? I have studied that, so I hope you also did. And they are like now environment is very important, right? For us it is very important because we live in an environment, we live in an ecosystem, right? So we make up an ecosystem. So there are different components, so lots and lots of things are there. I can explain each and every topic of environmental studies if you are interested in. So let's see. So you have to know what is the nature of environment, what are biodegradable things, what are non-biodegradable things, what are renewable stuffs, what are non-renewable stuffs. All these things you should know, right? Then what are the scopes we have, what is sustainable development. So all those things we have to understand. Then we have to know the importance of environment. So what does environment means? Does environment means only the biotic component, or the environment only the abiotic components? Those things we have to understand. How to save the environment, how to protect the environment, how to take care of the environment. All these things we will be learning in this particular unit 1. Now let's go to unit 2. So in unit 2 what we have, let's see, aims and objectives of teaching environmental studies with reference to NCF 2005, right? So it means that what is the aim and objective of teaching EVAs with reference to NCF 2005. So you know what is NCF 2005, right? It is National Curriculum Framework, right? National Curriculum Framework. So according to NCF 2005, what are the aims and objectives and how it aids in the development of the human resources, the different type of environmental resources. So those things we will understand, all right? But with respect to NCF 2005. Now let's go to unit 3. Let's see what we have in unit 3. So approaches to teaching learning environmental studies: observation, discussions, projects, visits, experiments, problem solving, activity based. Now if you want to reach somewhere, or if you want to understand somewhere, you have to go through small paths, or you have to go through the process, right? You have to follow some approaches. So what are the different approaches to teaching learning environmental studies? So which means when you are learning environmental studies or environmental science, or when you are teaching environmental studies, so what are the different approaches you will follow? So it can be, so the different approaches given over here are observations, we have to observe, we have to discuss, and then projects can be given different type of topics, and projects can be given. Then we can do field visits, we can do the visit of different uh, heritages, libraries, then science exhibition we can take part in, then we can go to museums, right? Then experiment, we can perform different type of experimentation, then problem solving and activity based. So all these are the different approaches for what? Approaches for teaching and learning environmental studies, all right? So I'll not go so much into detail because I will be making videos and explaining all these step by step, one by one, so that when you watch the video you are clear by the end of the video that, oh, sir was talking about this, so which means this is given in this particular topic, which means I have to study only whatever it was given in the video in order to pass the examination, right? So you will get all of those, so don't worry about it, right? Now let's go to unit 4. So unit 4 says assessment in environmental studies: types of assessment, purpose of assessment, tools and techniques of assessment. So assessment, right? So assessment can be formative assessment, it can be summative assessment. So there are different types of assessment: assessment for learning, assessment of learning, assessment in learning. So all those things we shall see with respect to environmental studies, right? Let's go to the next one, that is unit 5. What does unit 5 speak about? Learning, teaching, resources. So what are the different type of resources are we using in order to learn environmental studies, or in order to teach environmental studies? What are the different resources we are using? So those things we have to know, right? It can be environment itself. See, most of the time what happens is that when we are teaching environmental studies, we are taking example from the environment itself, right? We are taking example from our surrounding itself. So it is very much important, it is very much important that you understand the ecology. You study the ecology, you study the ecosystem, you study the geology, you know about the earth, right? So geoscience you have to know. Then let's go to unit 6. What is unit 6 speaking about? So natural resources: air, water, soil, and their conservation. Now you see, there are certain things in our environment which is natural, as well as there are actually everything is natural, right? So what are the, like, what I mean is that there are certain things which are renewable and there are certain things which are not renewable. So let us see. Air. So we have air, we know what is air. So air is a mixture of different type of gases, right? What comes under air? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen, hydrogen. So all these are what? These are the gases, right? These are the gases. All these gases combined together, they form the air, right? Now water. What is water? Chemically, H2O means water, right? So water, there are different sources of water. Water comes from the hills. We find water in pond, lakes, rivers, oceans, right? Wells, underground water. Then we have soil. So soil means the land, right? The land where we stand, where we sit, where we build our houses. So these things, that is air, water, and soil, these are getting polluted. Air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, right? And they are getting degraded. There is degradation of the land, there is degradation of the soil. Then water pollution, air pollution, there are different agents, or there are different factors which are responsible for air pollution, right? Like over use of vehicle, emission of harmful gases by the vehicles, by the factories, by smoking. So, and water pollution is by oil spillage or testing different types of missiles and all, right? Then soil pollution by using different types of chemical fertilizers, and dumping the waste materials under the soil. So these are the causes of different types of pollution. So what do we have to do? We have to conserve it. We have to follow sustainable development. We have to use these resources judiciously, right? Because we have to think about our future generation. So meanwhile, we have to also use it for ourselves. So it is so that we have to maintain a balance between the two, right? Let's go to the next one, that is uh, unit 7, our environment. So what do we find in our environment? We find land and people, plants and animals, right? Which means we find biotic as well as abiotic factors. So land and people. So where do we live? Are we living in underwater? No, we live on land, right? Then we have different type of plants around us, we have different types of animals around us, right? There are different type of plant. Now what is the relation between the plants and animals, between the human beings? The relation is exchange of gases, right? The main connecting link between the two is the exchange of gases. And the food, whatever we eat, it comes from the plants or the animals, right? Then exchange of gases, which means when we release carbon dioxide, the plants, they consume the carbon dioxide and they release the oxygen, which we take ourselves, right? So we are exchanging the gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. And next one is number 8, unit 8 says about food. So we know what is a food. So there are different components of food like carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, then water, like vitamins. So there are different types of resources or fats. So we human beings or animals, all of us, what do we need? We need the food, and this food is made by whom? This food is made by the plants, right? It is made by the plants. So the food is coming from the plant. Of course we cook it by ourselves, but then the natural source, the original source, is the plant, right? Then let's see unit 9. Unit 9 says matter and materials around us. So we know that everything in this universe is made up of matter. Matter means what? Anything which occupies space and have mass is called a matter, right? Then matter can be solid, it can be liquid, it can be gases, right? And how the molecules are arranged in the matter, then we have to study different types of shapes they have, different types of materials they are composed of. So all these things we will study, that is solid, liquid, and gas. All right, there are different type of forces between them, there are different types of arrangements they follow, compressibility they have, flexibility they have, rigidity they have. All right, interconversion we will study, water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, we shall study. All these things will come under matter and materials around us. And of course materials are can be metal, can be non-metal. So let's go to a vast variety, so which we will go in detail when I make a dedicated video on this. So let's go to now unit 10, environmental pollution and control, air, water, and soil. See, this one already I explained in unit 6 and unit 10. So as I said, there are different types of environmental pollution: air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. And how are we going to tackle this problem depends on us, right? So it depends on us. So we have to take a great care in solving this problem of pollution. Now biodiversity, let's see biodiversity, concepts and laws of biodiversity. Now what do you mean by bio means life, diversity means what? Diversity means the variation or the differences. So biodiversity means both plants and animals living in the environment, right? So biodiversity means different type. See, when we talk about humans, when we talk about animals, when we talk about plants, these are all not same, right? They are different. Plants are different, and even among plants there are different types of plants. Then animals are different, and even among animals there are different type of animals, right? So that is what we call biodiversity. So in a biodiversity, biodiversity is a very broad topic, in fact. So we shall see when we study this in detail, right? So there are different type of forests, there are different type of deserts. So all these things we shall see under this particular topic. Now let's go to the last unit, that is unit 12. What does unit 12 say? Meghalaya: physical features, vegetation, climate, wildlife, origin, and life of Khasis and Garos and their occupation. Now you see, this topic I don't even need to explain it to you, or I don't even have to say on this. Why? Because this is our topic, our state, right? Our beloved state, Meghalaya, the abode of clouds. So we know what we have in Meghalaya, how do we live, what is our culture, what is the society, what are our norms and rules in the society, then what was our origin, our freedom fighters, right? So everything we know very well. So this topic I believe is very easy for you to understand and for you to study. So physical features, you need to know the geography of Meghalaya. You need to know our state is divided into how many districts. All these things you should know, right? Then what is the type of vegetation we have? Of course we have pine trees, and we have different type of vegetation, so that we have to know. Of course we have differences between the Garo Hills region and the Khasi Hills region. The vegetation is different, right? So those things also we have to know. Then climate, what type of climate we have? The climate is also different, right? Of course the state Meghalaya's, the capital is Shillong, right? So Shillong have got a very beautiful climate, we all know that. Then wildlife, then what is the state bird, what is the state animal, what is the state flower. So all those things you should know. Then origin, so how Meghalaya was originated, in which year we got the statehood. So recently we got this like I'm making the video now, I'll be uploading. So recently we celebrated, right, the Meghalaya Day. Then the life of Khasi people. See, what am I doing here is that I am making the videos for our Mtet aspirants. And who are these Mtet aspirants? Of course, these Mtet aspirants are Khasis, Garos, Gianters, and all our friends from different communities, right? So basically, when we talk about Meghalaya, right, the when we talk about Meghalaya, Meghalaya, as we know, it is divided into three main parts. That is Khasis, Garos, and Gianters, right? So that is the major population of the state. Of course, we do have our other friends belonging to different communities, right? We have Bengalis, we have Assamese, we have Hajongs, we have Dalus, then we have Rabhas, right? Then we have Nepalis, we have, so many we have. So we live in harmony with one another, right? We live peacefully with one another. So that's why our state is excelling, right? We are very happy that we belong to Meghalaya. As Meghalaya, we live in, we live happily with the spirit of brotherhood with one another, right? So those things you need to know. And we all know that every year we, the people of Meghalaya, we celebrate festivals, right? So we celebrate Wangala festival, right? Then Senkut's name, I think. So then Bedin Klam. So all these festivals we are celebrating. Why are we celebrating all this? We are celebrating all this because the major population of our state, that is, we depend on agriculture, right? We depend on agriculture. So in order to give thanks to the nature, we celebrate these festivals, right? So every year towards the winter we have these celebrations and we enjoy a lot, right? And this culture is being preserved since time immemorial, right? And we also know that Meghalaya is a very unique state. Why? Because we are the state which follows matrilineal society, right? We are matrilineal society, which means we take the surname of our mother, not the father, unlike all states, different states of our country. So Meghalaya is very special. We have the cleanest village in Asia in Maulin Long, right? Right? We have that. So we are blessed. We are so blessed, and we are the tourist destination, tourist attraction. We have different type of you know tourist attractions, like we have the you know Don Bosco Museum, then we have Dauki, we have Shillong Peak, we have Ward's Lake, we have Elephant Falls, then uh, we have Mausindram, we have Cherrapunji, right? Then we have Cathedral Church. So lots and lots. I will not be able to name everything. So much of places, tourist attractions we have in our state. So we are very lucky to be the people of Meghalaya. So we must love and protect our environment. You know, what can we do in order to protect our state? We of course can educate ourselves, right? We can educate ourselves, we can learn, we can teach, we can reduce the use of plastics. So we can carry out the different types of programs, environmental awareness programs, because each individual has their own role to play. So we can play a very important role as the individuals, as a citizen of the country, as the citizen of the state, right? So I think this is all in this video, and of course I will be explaining all these units in different type of in different videos, dedicated videos, all right, provided you need. Of course you do need, but let me know in the comment section, so that I feel happy, I feel motivated, and I enjoy making videos for you guys, so that you also score well, you pass your exams, you crack the Mtet exams, and you become government employees, and your life is blessed with a government job, so that you settle down, you decide what to do next. right? So that your life is a success. So this is why Ashok Tutorials is here. So do show your love and support to my channel Ashok Tutorials. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Ashok Tutorials. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day. Hello everyone, so welcome you back to Ashok Tutorials. Well, so we have been discussing paper 1, right? So we have discussed CDP, language 1, language 2 and environmental studies. So this is the last video for paper 1, that is mathematics. So before we do anything, we should always know the syllabus, right? When you know the syllabus, 50% of your work is done, because when you know the syllabus, you don't read unnecessary stuffs, right? You are reading only the relevant stuffs, which makes your work easier and more accurate. So whenever you hear the word mathematics, you get nervous, right? Especially those are friends from arts and commerce background, we get nervous when we hear the word mathematics. But then in case of this one Mtet, you don't have to be nervous at all, you don't have to be scared at all. Many of you who are you know who are like 40 30s, you might be thinking like, oh, this subject mathematics I have left long before. I have left it when I was in class 10. Some of you, I left it when I was in class 12, so it's a long time, 15 to 20, 30 years already. So how come I study this mathematics again and pass this MTET examination? So let me tell you, you don't have to be scared at all, because you have a choice here. What is the choice? See, the mathematics comes for 30 marks, right? 30 marks, and you will be getting 30 questions, which means one question for 1 mark. Now I'm saying that you don't have to be scared. So why so? Because you have this, your mathematics syllabus is divided into two parts. So you can see here, the first part is what? The first part is pedagogical issues. What's that? Pedagogical issues. The next one is contained knowledge. What knowledge? Contained knowledge. Now you can see here, this pedagogical issues is for 10 marks, and this content knowledge is for 20 marks. Now in mathematics, if if you can score this 10 out of 10, definitely you will pass your exam. All right, definitely you will pass your exam. Especially I'm talking about for friends who are in SC and ST category, because you just need 82 marks. All right, you just need 82 marks out of 150, so which is very easy. Now why I'm saying this, that you can score, if you can score 10 out of 10, it will be very good for you. Why? Because you see, do you see this word pedagogical issues? Yes. So have you seen this pedagogy word anywhere? Yes, you have seen it in child development and pedagogy, which means the first subject, that is CDP subject. You have seen this word, right? So all these 6 subunits given here, these are all just the pedagogy. All right, this will just check your pedagogy in terms of mathematics, how you are well equipped or not with pedagogy. So that will be tested here. You don't have to solve even a single question out here in these pedagogical issues. So the questions from this unit will be something which will be based on your understanding. You don't have to solve it at all. So even if you know zero mathematics, no problem, you can solve this easily. All right, and then there is another part, that is content knowledge. So see, when we talk about content knowledge, here you can see that here the mathematics is there. These parts you might have to solve, but of course out of 20, see, out of 20, if you know nothing about mathematics, all right, if you know nothing about mathematics, but then at least by chance also, if you're solving, no, by chance also if you're solving, you will get at least 5 to 10 marks or 5 to 7 marks you'll score here also easily. You know, let me give you one trick. When you know nothing, no, like you're not sure whether to choose option A or B, because there will be 20 questions. So out of 20 questions, if you are ticking sometimes A, sometimes C, sometimes D, sometimes B, in that case you will end up getting 0. You will end up getting 0, right? So what I do myself, if I'm not sure of the answer, suppose 20 questions are given and I do not know even a single answer, so what I will do is that I will choose all the same options, which means A, B, C, D is given. So from there I might tick A from to all the questions, 20 questions I will tick A. So at least 5 to 7 will be correct. But if I'm ticking haphazardly, sometimes A, sometimes B, sometimes C, without knowing, so that is useless. So, and one thing I have observed, in most of the exams, what I see, this is a trick, so you listen nicely. So what is the trick? So the trick is, uh, the correct answers are coming in what? The correct answer are coming in option D. Which option? Option D, maximum time. Either in option D or option C. But what I believe, what I have seen most of the time is that it comes in option D. So if you're not sure of anything, just tick the option D everywhere. 20 questions you tick D like that, alright? Or if you want, you can tick all the options C. So C and D, what I see according to my observation, are most of the time the correct answer is given in option C or D. So this trick you can follow, alright? But don't tell this to anybody. This is a secret trick, alright? Alright, now let's come back. So now let me tell you, let me explain to you the syllabus, alright? So here, pedagogical issues. So under pedagogical issues, number 1, what do we have? We have nature of mathematics, precision and accuracy, abstractions, hierarchical or sequential patterns and logic. So we shall study here what is the nature of mathematics. When we talk about in terms of mathematics, we want to be very, very precise, right? We want to be very, very precise. We want it to be very, very accurate. Then abstract thinking should be developed. Then hierarchical or sequential order, from ascending to descending order, from smaller to bigger. How do we go? How do we arrange things in sequence, right? So those things we have to see. Then patterns and logic. So what are the different types of patterns? Logical thinking, logical reasonings, all these things are developed when we study mathematics. Now let's see option number 2. I mean, not option number 2. So methods of teaching mathematics. So how, as mathematics teachers, you are going to teach the children? So I know when we are the teachers of when we are LP teachers, we have to teach all the subjects by ourselves, right? It does not mean you are arts teacher so you cannot teach maths. All of us, we have to teach, whether whatever background we belong to, right? That's why you're writing this Mtet exam. If you are able to pass this Mtet exam, which means you qualify in maths also, even though you are from arts, but it is taken that you can teach maths. That's why you qualify this exam, right? So we can teach mathematics using games, using puzzles and playway methods or activities. So all this can aid, you can help you in the process of teaching, learning, right? Now let's come to number 3, that is theories of learning mathematics. See, there are different types of theories, alright? Theories according to Piaget, Jean Piaget, everywhere Jean Piaget is very famous, right? So Jean Piaget, dedicated video I have made on Jean Piaget, so you can watch that, alright? So Jean Piaget, then Scamp. So these are the two psychologists according to whom there are theories which they have given on learning mathematics. So you have to go through that theory, and of course I will be explaining all this in dedicated videos. Now let's see number 4. So in number 4 we have issues of learning mathematics, language barrier and mathematics phobia. See, now what was I talking about is given here. So now, what is language barrier? Language barrier means when you are not able to understand the mathematical language, right? So mathematical language we have to understand very well. Now phobia means what? Phobia means the fear. So most of us, we fear the mathematics. And why do we fear the mathematics? Because our foundation is not good. Our foundation was not good. The teachers who taught us during our school days were not good, were not efficient, were not educated enough, were not trained at all. So, being the product of such teachers, we are afraid of mathematics, right? We are afraid of mathematics. So, this is what we accept and we believe, which is true as well. So, now let me tell you, my dear friends, you don't have to be scared of mathematics because, see, class 5 maths, class 4 maths, you can solve easily because I know you can solve easily, so you don't have to be scared of mathematics at all, right? So don't be afraid. Now, number 5, use of ICT in mathematics. Now, how the use of ICT, information and communication technology, will help in the teaching and learning of maths. So those things we shall study here. Then assessment and evaluation also we will study. You know that assessment can be of two types, that is formative assessment as well as summative assessment, right? So how do we evaluate the child, how do we assess the child in mathematics? Those things we shall take into account when we are learning this. Now let's come to the content knowledge. See, this content knowledge is the maths, of course. So numbers, counting numbers, place value, arithmetic operations. See, you know very well what are whole numbers, what are real numbers, what are natural numbers, what are irrational numbers, what are rational numbers, so integers, so all these things you know, right? So place value also, you know, tens, ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000, lakhs, 10 lakh, crore, so all these things you know. Then AP, we all have studied AP when we were in class 10. Arithmetic and progressions we have studied, right? So I believe you also studied that and you know what does that mean. Now, when I'm explaining this syllabus, I have a question for you, that is, just tell me who or which country discovered zero. Can you comment it in the comment section? Let me see. Which country discovered the zero? Please comment in the comment section. See, just you try to understand, if there were no zero in mathematics, what would have been the condition of our mathematics today? So it is because of zero that our mathematics has become so valuable, right? So I would like to, you know, ask, or I would like to know from you, like, which country invented zero? Please comment it in the comment section. Now let's go to the second part. Now we have this number 2. All right, so measurements. So you know, when we were kids, we go to stitch our school uniforms in the shop, right? And there the shopkeeper, they take the measurements, the, right, the measurement of the waist, the measurement of the chest, right? So measurements can be of different types. The measurement of the measurement during the construction of a house, then what is the area, and weight can be of anything. When we are buying sugars from the market, when we are buying the rice or the wheat from the market, we weigh it, right, in the weighing machine. And even our weight itself, we measure how much kg are we. When we are, you know, many of you, you are trying to you know, run for MLP, Meghalaya Police, you try to participate in the recruitment process, right? So there we, our weight we measure, right? So that is one example. Then volume, we have to know what is the volume of something, the container, the cylinder, the square box, or whatever, how much the material or the water can it hold. Then time, we all know time is given in hour, minute and seconds. Then money, I don't need to tell you anything about, right? So we know what is currency of different countries. Now money, how do we, you know, how you will be learning in money section, you'll be learning about cost price, selling price, discount, profit, loss, so those things you'll learn here. Now let's see number 3, that is data handling. What handling? Data handling. So sorting out means differentiating, classification, classifying different stuffs. Now suppose I ask you, in a co-educational institution, we have both the boys as well as the girls, right? So if I ask you to classify the classroom or divide the classroom into two genders, that is male and female, so you will divide it, right? Then again I will ask you, you differentiate or you classify the children according to their heights, then you will do the same again. Then again, if I ask you, those with long hairs you classify in one group, another with short hairs you classify in another group, so there will be another category again. So that way data handling, we are using. Now simple graph reading, so you know what is a graph, right? So a graph has got two lines, that is x-axis and y-axis. On the left side we have 0, -1, -2, -3, -4. On the right side we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, positive. On the right side we have positive numbers, on the left side we have negative numbers. On top of the axis we have positive numbers, below the axis we have negative numbers. So I hope you know this. So this is very important, right? Then we have numericals and geometrical patterns. So we do numericals, right? Even in science we are doing numericals, in physics especially, in chemistry as well, even in biology we do. So whenever you are studying about genetics, you will do calculations, right? Monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio. So those things we find out by doing calculations, right? Then we have geometrical patterns. So we have rectangles, triangles, then trapezium, rhombus, circles, right? Then number 5, we have simple shapes. Simple shapes can be spatial understanding, symmetry, and solid around us. See, symmetry, you have to know what is symmetry. Symmetry means something which can be divided exactly into two equal halves. For example, let me give our body. Human body is symmetrical, starfish is symmetrical, right? Symmetry you have studied, but you have to study symmetry in this mathematics in connection with letters A, B, C, all these alphabets, which are symmetrical, which are not symmetrical, you have to understand. Symmetry means which you can superimpose, which means if you overlap one with the other, it should completely cover the other. You have also studied about symmetry. If you are from science background, you have studied symmetry in class 11, right? Very well you have studied there. Then solids around us, you have to study about different type of solids, right? Now let's go to fractions and decimals. See, fractions and decimals are very easy topics. You have to know the concept, you have to know the types, you know the operations and applications. So where do we use fractions, where do we use decimals? So those things you have to know very well. Then percentage and application, percentage is very important, right? Percentage. Then how do we calculate the percentage? What is the formula in order to find the percentage? Discount, right? Discount, flat, this much percentage is off for this. So how do you actually calculate the price of that thing? So in order to do all those things, you have to know how do we find out the percentage of certain things, right? So I hope that mathematics syllabus was easy for you to understand. I hope that you have followed it. I hope that you don't have any phobia, you are not afraid of mathematics anymore, because I already told you that it does not mean that you have to pass in all. I mean pass means it does not mean that you have to score 30 out of 30 in maths. Even if you score 10 marks this pedagogical one, you will still pass the exam, right? But then of course here also I have given you the hint, right? So that hint you try to follow and you try to solve the mathematics question, right? Then this was all about paper 1. So I'm planning to release one more video where for paper 1 I'm planning to release one more video where I will combine all the subjects. See, now I have made the dedicated videos for different subjects, right? 5 videos I have made for paper 1, that is for CTP, for language 1, language 2, environmental studies and mathematics. 5 videos I have made. Now one more, what I will do is that I will make a collection, a collage of all this video, which means all in one. So there will be one particular video in which you will find all the papers, I mean all the subjects you will find in one paper, all the subjects you will find. So I will upload one more video where all the 5 subjects will be given, which means if you play that video, you don't have to search for, like, EVS separately, language 1 separately, language 2 separately. You don't have to find it. You will find everything at one place. So that will only be for paper 1. So next, from next video onwards, I'll try to make the videos for paper 2 as well. So let's, some of you were asking me, like, sir, whether MTET exam will be there or not this year. So of course there should be. If the government is, ready, if the government wants the immediate recruitment, if they do not delay, we shall have MTET examination every year. So this is what I believe, right? Recruitment should be there every year as much as possible, because there are many schools which needs the trained teachers, right? Trained teachers are required. So we must believe in our government, and our government should also believe in us, and they should create job opportunities for us as much as possible, right? So let's hope for the best. And so I take your leave now. So wishing you all the best, and thank you everyone for staying connected with the Ashok tutorials, and show your love and support to our channel by commenting in the comment section, and by liking, sharing, and subscribing the videos of Ashok tutorials. So thank you everyone for staying connected. God bless.